All right. So we'll begin the webinar. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you from various time zones who have joined in for this webinar. I'm Murali working at GoTo Group, and I've been with this product for more than a year, involved with the design and development of this new redesign of our Synapse. Um, for those who are new to GoTo Group, I'd like to introduce about GoTo Group. So we are a platinum partners to Atlassian. So we do all sorts of Atlassian softwares related business like customization, consultation, migration, etc. In addition to that, we also have some set of homegrown products like the Snaps. Um, and also we do our pioneering business on integration stuff, integrating various ALM products. Connectall is one of it, one of our flagship products. So that's pretty much about GoTo Group. I would like to briefly introduce, um, and we'll get into the introduction about the product. So this is basically a totally redesigned Synapse for those who already know Synapse that is already in the marketplace. So we just wanted to give a fresh look, and with the feedbacks that we have received from various customers over years, we have decided to take those feedbacks and give back to the customers with what they wanted. So that's the basic idea of the redesign of this Synapse, and we have brought it to you, which will be released into the public market in the next week, that is end of this month. So the main objective of this redesign is to give a test management system like any other traditional testing tool that the QA team uses it from within JIRA, with the ease of use and the nativity of JIRA we wanted to bring in, so that a QA person will be able to accomplish all of his tasks with the help of this add-on from within JIRA itself. So that's the main objective that we have taken when we decided to redesign this. And with respect to the support of this add-on, so this add-on will be supported from JIRA 7.x onwards, which means JIRA 7.0 onwards. For those customers who are already into JIRA 7, they can simply start using this product. For those who are already in JIRA 7 and already using our upgraded version of our existing Synapse, yes, we have designed a migration path for those customers. Especially it is available for them, so they can use that upgrade path and get migrated to this new version of the plugin. For those who are still with JIRA 6 and using our product, you can still continue to use it. We are still going to support that product as well. Moving on to the product. So here I would like to cover the important components that this product is offering. So I'll start with requirement. From there we begin. So I'm just going to jump between the actual demo and the presentation to explain you on the various components that is involved with this product. So before I begin on requirement, I'd like to say something that is basic before we begin, so that how we can start using this product. So on installation, the plugin will create 4 default issue types called requirement, test case, test plan, and bug. So these are the 4 default types it creates if these types doesn't exist already in the system. So test case and test plan, the users have to follow the same issue type for test case and test plan, but for requirement and bug, we have some flexibility of configuring what types can belong to a requirement type and what type could be a bug type. So if you go to add-ons and if you go to a configuration section, you'll be able to see a simple configuration that allows an issue type can be mapped to requirement type and an issue type can be mapped to bug type. Here requirements is allowed as one to multiple, one to many. whereas bug is a one-to-one. So the idea behind having multiple requirement types is, in many business scenarios, we have observed that multiple issue types were being used to denote requirement. For example, you can say epic, story, task. These together, at many instances, we have found that it's been used as a requirement type. So we decided to offer multiple issue types to support as a requirement, whereas bug, it's mostly it's one-to-one. It could be at some places bug, at some places they call it defect. We still leave it to the convenience of the users to choose whatever type they use it at their organization and to map it against bug and requirement. As I said, for test case and test plan, the same type has to be used. So I'll proceed on requirement, how it appears in a user's perspective. For ease of demonstration, I've already opened all required items in various tabs so that I can just navigate easily and show it to you so that I can conserve some time here. So this is a typical requirement issue type, wherein you can notice there are two panels that this plugin is offering. So one is the requirements panel, the other one is the test case panel. The requirements panel offers a facility to organize the requirements. You can build an hierarchy of requirements, like create a parent, create a child's. So you can decompose a requirement from here to multiple simple requirements, and you can organize and structure your requirements. That's the idea behind this panel. So this is a simple organizing uh, thing that we wanted to offer for the requirements management. So here you'll be seeing various buttons in this panel where you will be able to click on these buttons to create a parent, create a child, etc. So I'll just show you one on create child. If you hit on this button, it's going to display you the standard JIRA create issue form, wherein you will have to fill in the details and click on create. All it is going to do is create that issue and establish the hierarchy here so that it helps the person who is writing the user stories to easily decompose the requirements from one place itself so that you can establish a big tree of requirements that you wanted to decompose at various levels. So there are two ways we can establish the hierarchy. One is the create option, as I just showed you, and the other option is the linking option. So linking means it's linking the existing issues in the system. So if there are any existing requirement issues that you wanted to include in the hierarchy, you can simply just search based on the summary if you know it or the issue key using this issue picker panel, or you can even click on the search for an issue to do an advanced searching using JQLs. You can write your own JQLs and then find the issues that you're looking for, select them and click on add. Okay, so So that's how you will be able to uh, add requirements, add parent and child requirements, and create a tree here. So we have provided an button called requirement tree. Clicking on that is going to display you the whole tree structure of this particular requirement from where you're seeing it. So what you're seeing here is just the immediate parent and the immediate children. This option is going to show you the whole tree hierarchy of this requirement. You can see that create parent and link parent are disabled here. It means a parent is already linked, so we are disabling these options. If there is no parent already available, you will see these enabled so that you can create a parent or link a parent and associate it here. Okay, moving on to the next panel in requirements, we have test cases. So for any requirement, we need to have a complete test coverage that defines full testing is being done on a requirement. So you can see the list of test cases that are associated to this particular requirement, wherein this indicates the coverage of the requirement, wherein what are all the test cases being written against this requirement and the status of each of these test cases and executions. I'll talk about the executions and further stuff on this particular panel a little while later, but right now I'd like to just show how we can create test cases from within the requirement panel. So here you can see a button called create test case and similarly link test case. Similar to what I shown just above on creating parent and child requirements, you can create a new test case from here. So a requirement is written, and a tester is going to write the test coverage for this particular requirement. You simply come to this requirement, click on this create test case. This form is going to appear. They can simply start creating the test cases, and all of these are going to be created, uh, and a link is being established between this requirement and the test case. Similarly, if there is a test case that is already available and the user wants to link to it, they can simply click on the link test case, search for it, and link it. It's going to appear here. That's pretty much about requirements. I'll switch back to the presentation on our next important component that we wanted to talk about. So this is test case management. So test case management comprises of test case and test suites. Test suites are nothing but an organizing structure of the test cases available in a system. I'm going to show you on both and what facilities and features that we are offering as part of these components we have. So moving on to a test case example. So what you're seeing right now on the screen is the test case issue type. Here we are offering 4 panels. One is test step, the other one is requirement, the other one is test plan. On the right you can see, and just above that is the test suite. So I'm going to explain one by one each. So test step is not a mandatory thing to write a test step for a test case, but it's always a good practice to have test steps written for a test case, so that even the new testers who are not much aware of the functionality of testing can follow the steps written and to execute the test cases. So here in the test steps panel, we offer facilities like um, you have an inline creation of a step. You can just type in new step result and just click on add. It's going to simply add the new step, and we have provided a move option here wherein you can simply drag and drop to the desired position, and if not needed you can click on this delete icon to remove that particular step that you wanted to remove it from here. In addition to that, we also offer a couple of options on exporting and importing this list of test steps created. This is purposefully designed to help testers who used to create more test cases wherein there will be some set of test steps which will be redundant, occurring again and again, some standard steps like login, can say. So to avoid retyping them and again, they can simply export it into a CSV format and then use this import facility to choose that file and import the test steps, which will simply import it into this panel. So that saves time. So one more thing I would like to mention it here. Um, we also support a clone. We also support cloning of the test steps when you clone this test case ticket. So you have a test case ticket and you have some set of test steps written here. So if you just go to the more option and use the standard clone, it will still clone these test steps along with the standard other JIRA data that it clones. So that in the cloned ticket, you can simply modify the steps that you wanted to modify and reconstruct your cloned test case. Okay, moving on to requirement. So this is nothing but a reflection of what we have seen in the requirement issue type. So we have associated test cases from requirement. The same is being reflected here. So when you view it from a test case perspective, it is going to display you the set of requirements which this particular test case is covering. So so that gives an easy understanding for the testers to know like for against what all requirements this particular test case is being written for. So the next panel that I would like to talk about is test plan. I'll I'll talk about test plan and these cycles in more detail in a while, but to give you a brief now, so this panel is going to give you the list of test plans in which this particular test case is being executed. So you can see the test plan key and its summary. So these colored blocks are the execution status in each cycle. So if you just put your mouse cursor on it, it's going to give you some detailed information about the blocks. So it's going to display you the cycle name and the result and the number of defects and the tester who have tested this particular test case in that particular test plan and in that cycle. So if you see here, in few plans you see two blocks, and few you see three blocks. It's nothing but you can have any number of cycles executed in each of the test plans. So that's the reason you're seeing the number of blocks being deferred in each of these test plans. Excuse me. We'll see in more detail when we just talk about the test management. So there is one more thing I would like to mention here. So when you view it from a test case, you can see the number of defects that's being raised for this test case in a given test plan. So you see the numbers here, and there is an hyperlink on this number. If you click on it, it's going to pop up with a list of defects that's been raised against this particular test case in that test plan. All right. The next one is about the test suites. So test suites, as I mentioned, test suites is nothing but an um, entity that organizes the various test cases. It basically logically groups them so that a tester can easily identify a set of test cases. For example, you can say a login suite contains test cases related to a login verification, like that. So here you can see the test suite that is containing this particular test case. So if you click on this test suite link, it's going to display you the whole set of hierarchy of the test suite, wherein you can see what other test cases that belongs to this suite from here. You can also click on this add button to include this test case into different test suites that's available in the system. So we'll see more in detail about the test suites now. So I'm in the test suites page right now. So how to navigate to this page? So you need to go to the projects menu at the top, choose your desired project. On the left hand panel, you will see the test suites as an option here. Click on that, you will see the test suites page coming up. Right now there are two categories in test suites. One is active suites and the disabled suites. So whatever test suites that are not being used anymore, you can simply mark it as disabled so that it don't appear in the test plans when we choose test cases from the suites. I'll just show that when we talk about the test management in a while. So we'll see about test suites, how we can organize things here. So you can see the number of test cases being involved in a particular test suite. This number indicates how many test cases are being added to this particular test suite. So for example, I'll just edit the first suite that we are seeing here. So it takes us to a page where we see the hierarchy of test cases. It's basically test cases are created, and those test cases are organized and grouped into various levels of hierarchy in this particular test suite. So you can see, like, you can correlate this to a folder and files in a Windows system typically. So these black entries, or the entries with this uh, cursor, so these are basically suites, and whatever items that you see underneath it are the test cases. So in this example, you can see test case library is the suite. Installation is, you can call it as a subsuite or a sublogical grouping, and then you can see the number of test cases being added to this. Similarly, the test cases are organized at various levels. You can see more number of levels are being created to organize test cases in the test suites. So there is no limitation to the number of levels that you can create to organize test cases. You can create as many as you want to organize your test cases so that you can easily identify and use them when you do your executions from test plans. So there are some convenient options available from within the test suites itself, wherein you can see these icons on the right. So these icons helps us create test cases from within the test suites as well. Similar to how the way we have done it from the requirements, like we have created test cases as a test case coverage for a given requirement, we can also uh, create test cases and organize test cases from within a test suites. It's a different perspective of creating and organizing test cases. So you can create a test suite and then you can construct the test suite with the full hierarchy that you intend to do from here itself. You need not go back and forth. You can simply use this plus icon uh, to get the create form, wherein you can just type in and create a new test case. Or if you wanted to include an existing test case into this test suites, you can use this link option wherein you can search for the existing test cases and link it to this test suites. So similarly, to add nested levels of suites, as I said, test step is a nested level below the test case group. So to do that, you have this create suite option, add suite option. Just click on that. It's going to give you an inline form wherein you can just type in and create a new suite. It's going to get created underneath the test case level. So the last icon is understandable. If you wanted to remove it, you can use this delete icon so that it goes away from the hierarchy that you are creating. So like this, you can create as many number of suites you want, and you can organize test cases that you will be using it in the future in the test plans and in the executions. Okay, so that's pretty much I wanted to cover with respect to the test case management. So the next component that we are going to see is the test management. This is the heart of the functionality, wherein we have created requirements, we have created test cases as coverage for those requirements. We have just seen about organizing test cases using test suites. Now, after all of this is done, we wanted to use these test cases to execute our testing. So that's where the test management is. So I'll talk about test management right away. Okay. So what you're seeing right now is a test plan ticket. So to execute test cases, you need to have a test plan created and do the planning of test cases within this test plan. So in test plan, we offer two issue panels. One is test case panel, the other one is test cycle panel. So we'll talk in detail about these two panels. So the test case panel is where we include the test cases to a test plan and plan it for the execution. So how to include test cases? So we have a couple of options here. So one is to add test case. This is basically a issue search like what we have seen before, wherein you can search the existing test cases in the system and pick them for linking. The other option is to add your test cases from the test suite we have just seen. So if you click on test suite, it's going to list the test suites that are available in this project. So you can simply expand this. It's going to display you the whole hierarchy of test cases that you have created, so that you can pick and choose the related test cases, or you can just choose from the top level, that is at the group level, to choose all test cases that belongs to a particular suite and then include it in the test plan for your testing. So once you have included, this is how you will see the list of test cases. You can see it contains it contains actually exactly 136 test cases in this test plan. So it is paginated at the bottom. You can see the various pages. So you can just navigate through pages to see the whole list of test cases that are being added to this particular test plan. So also you can use this move option to drag and drop test cases to set the sequence that you wanted to establish for executing the test cases in a test plan. So in addition to that, I would like to mention about the execution status column, which is of our interest here. So you can see that similar colored blocks, which is indicating the execution result of this particular test case in this plan. So each block indicates the execution status of uh, this particular test case in each of the cycle that this plan has. So we'll see about cycles now. So right up to now we have included test cases and planned our test plan with the list of test cases that we wanted to execute it. So in order to execute the test cases, we need to execute it in a test cycle. So we need to create a new test cycle and execute the test cases that we have planned in the cycle. So the idea behind the test cycle is in a normal scenario, uh, there would be instances where a same set of test cases needs to be executed for more than one iteration. Maybe be it a number of iterations of testing or be it executions of same test cases in the various environments or builds. So in order to avoid do this planning again and again, so we have introduced a concept called test cycle wherein you can execute it in cycles so that the same planned test cases would be repeated in each cycle. So to add a test cycle, you will see a button as add here. Click on the add. So it will ask you for some basic information like cycle name and the environment information and build information. These are optional, but you can provide as you wish to identify the cycles with more details. So clicking on add is going to create a new cycle here. Okay, the cycle is added as you can see. I'd like to mention that whenever a cycle is added, it will be in draft mode. So to start execution of a cycle, you need to use a workflow here. So if you pull down this gear icon, you will see a start option. So you will be able to you will be able to delete a cycle that you have created only until when it is in draft mode. Say if you have accidentally created a cycle and you don't need it, you can delete it when it is in draft mode. Once it has moved to the active mode, you will not be able to delete it. The only options are you can either abort this cycle or complete the cycle with the test executions are completed. So if you click on start, it's going to create test runs. We'll see how the test runs are created. So when I say test runs, these are nothing but the individual instances of the test cases that we have included in the test plan for execution. So these test runs carry the test results and the other informations about the testing that has done uniquely against this particular execution in a test plan under a test cycle. So right now what you are seeing is a test cycle page that contains the test runs or the test case executions that is planned under this particular test plan. So here you have the option to update the result of a test case execution. So you can just click on this pencil icon. So that will give you a drop down wherein you can choose the desired result of a test run. Also, I would like to mention you can assign testers at cycle level so that you can identify which particular tester is executing this particular test case in a given test plan. You can also do this tester assignment from the test case. It's from the test case planning page itself. I'm just going to switch there. You can even assign a tester at this level. The difference between these two is if you are assigning a tester at this level, each cycle created will automatically inherit the tester assigned here. Also, you can override the tester assigned from within the cycle as well. So you will the other column that you can see here is the defect column that indicates the number of defects that are being raised against this particular execution. So there is an hyperlink here on this defect count. If you click on it, it's going to pop up with the defect that is created for this particular test execution. So you can also do a bulk operation on updating test results and assigning the test cases within the cycle. You can uh, you can select the test cases that you wanted to do a bulk update. There is a bulk operation at the top. Click on that. You will see the various operations that you can perform on the set of test cases that you have selected here. To search for uh, say for example there is quite a bit number of test executions are being done in the cycle. If you wanted to search for all failed executions, you can simply search based on text value. Here it is going to filter it and show it to you easily. um, Now to talk about detailed execution, so what we have seen is a quick format of executing the test cases, wherein the tester is very much aware of what he is testing on. He can simply update the test result and move on to the next test cases. But if the tester is interested in recording more details or do a detailed execution, he can click on this execute button against this particular test case. It's going to display you a form wherein it is going to show you the details with the run steps, that is the test case steps against the test case as well here. So if you remember, we would have created test steps when we created test cases, and when the execution happens for that particular test case, you will see all of those information here. In addition to that, you can record the result, actual result of each step, and you can also attach bugs on the failed cases. So you can see here there are a couple of options here to attach bugs. There is one is link bug, wherein you can search an existing bug and link it, and you can also create new bugs from here. If you click on create, it's going to display you the form. You can create a bug, and that bug would be automatically associated against this particular execution. So you will see the list of bugs that's available here. You can fill in your own comments that you wanted to give more information about this particular execution. So you can use these navigation buttons at the top to move between the test executions instead of going back and forth to click on execute button. Okay, that's pretty much about the test case executions. I'd like to before moving on to the next topic, I will also mention about uh, this graphical representation that indicates an execution distribution pie of the test cases involved in this cycle. You can also see the number of uh, total number of defects created for this particular test cycle. So clicking on this, it is going to display you the list of all defects being involved in this particular test cycle. You can see the resolution status of each of these defects here. So you can see like 29% of the raised defects are already resolved and 71% lies remain still unresolved. I'd like to switch back to the test plan to show you some more graphs that you can see there. So you can, in the test cycle, you can also see from test plan page itself, like the execution percentage of each cycle and the defects count and the defect resolution percentage in in each cycle from a broader perspective. That is across cycles, you can see it from here. All right. So the next component that we wanted to talk about is requirement traceability. So, so we have created requirements, we have created test cases, organized test cases, we have executed those test cases under a plan and in a cycle. We have created bugs. All of that is done. So from a person who wants to see whether his requirement is fulfilled or not. He wants to see the traceability of his requirement, so that he can see whether his requirement is really fulfilled or is still not fulfilled. So that's basically what this requirement traceability is offering us. So I'll just go back to the requirement page where I said I will come back to this panel. So in this panel, you can see test cases here that indicates the coverage written for this particular requirement. So on a traceability perspective, a user can expand these test cases to see the execution details of these test cases for this requirement. So you can see like when you have expanded this test case, it's going to display the list of test plans in which this particular test case is executed, and you can still see the cycle details and its execution status in each cycle. Also, from here, you can still see the defects that are raised against this particular test case. So this basically straight away translates to the defects that are still available, created, resolved or unresolved against this particular requirement. So this is going to tell us a clear picture of whether the requirement is fully developed, tested, and it's clean or not. So this number here is going to indicate the defects against this particular test case alone, wherein you can see a view bugs button at the top. Clicking on that is going to display you the consolidated list of all bugs that is created against this particular requirement. All right, so there is one more important feature that I wanted to talk about is on the requirement traceability. Here is so what we have just seen right now is tracing a requirement from within the requirement. So that's going to be a traceability for that particular given requirement. From here, you can trace trace multiple requirements at one place. So how to come here? So the same way as you have come to test suites, go to projects, choose your desired project. On the project left navigation panel, you will be able to see an option called traceability. Clicking on that is going to bring you to this page wherein we are offering you filtering options to filter and see the list of requirements that you intend to see. So in filtering, we are offering a couple of options like advanced filtering and basic filtering. So click on that. You can, if you are in advanced filtering, you can write your own JQL. If you go to basic filtering, it offers some basic set of fields wherein you can choose the values for each of these fields to filter the requirements. The next filter that you see on the right hand side is the test plan filter, wherein this provides you an additional ability to filter the test plans that you are willing to see, and that limits the number of test plans that being listed against these requirements, so that you can just trace a given requirement against a particular test plan execution as well. So this filter is also similar to what we have seen. So you can choose your filtering options, click on the trace button at the bottom. It's going to display you a matrix format here, wherein you can see a tabular format where you can see from from requirements till bug, you can trace a particular requirement. So as you can see here, the first column indicates the requirements that we have filtered. The second column indicates the test cases that are associated to a particular requirement. And the subsequent columns are the test plans, wherein you can see the execution status of this given test case against a requirement in each of the plans. So there is a bug-like icon appearing here that's going to give you the bug details against against that particular requirement. So similar to what we have seen from within the requirement, you can still trace a requirement from requirement to bug all the way through the chain. And here you can trace it for more than one requirements. For multiple requirements, you can trace it here. So we are also offering an export to CSV option. So you can export this data, what you see, as in CSV format, and you can manipulate the CSV file for your further work. I see some questions coming in. Um, Okay, I'll take these questions and the last one by one. I'll proceed and complete the rest of the demonstrations that I wanted to talk about. All right. So this is pretty much about traceability. So okay. The last component that I wanted to talk about is on the reports that we are offering on this product. Okay. So this is a summary report of test plans that we are offering. So to see the summary of test plans, similarly, you will have to go to the project, choose the desired project, and then click on the test plans on the left pane. You will be displayed the overview chart here, where you can see the trend charts for the last 30 days on the test case executions and the defects that are being created in the plans. So the next tab is going to show you the list of unresolved plans in this project, wherein you can see a quick snapshot of what is happening on each of the plans, the test execution status, the cycle status, and the defect resolution status here. You can expand these plans to see further more drill down information at the cycle level. It's going to give you some more detailed information. Similarly, if you go to the resolved plans, this is kind of an archived thing, like, or a completed thing, which which we will use it whenever we wanted to see it only, because it's not an active thing usually. So for all the completed ones, you can just go to this resolve plan. You can just type and search a plan, and then you can click on view so that those details will be listed to you here. The other forms of report that we are giving here's a test plan execution report. So from, if you go to the report section, there is a special new report created here. Clicking on that, you will see some options here to choose a test plan, and then you can use the various filtering options here that you wanted to filter out for the execution details that you wanted to see. Click on next is going to produce you an execution report, wherein you can see like in which cycle, what is the status, and who is the tester, and when it is executed on. So you will be able to see all of these details. You have this Excel export option as well to export it. So apart from this, we also give a couple of gadgets that you can configure it in your dashboard. So one is the execution pie, wherein it displays the execution status of test cases in a given cycle. And the other one is a test case burn down, wherein you can see how test cases are executed over a period of time. So you can track the execution progress from your dashboard. We are constantly working on to give more reports, so you can expect more reports to come into this product in the future releases. All right, so that's pretty much on our on the demonstration that I wanted to show you. And I'll go back to the questions that are being asked here. Okay. Please send the recording of webinar attendees. Sure, we have plans to send the webinar recording for all of the members who have registered, so you will be receiving it. Is it possible to add attributes of test tape to physical data? Add a column physical data. Um, I didn't quite get this question. Uh, I'll probably contact you in the email to get more details about this. Can you repeat test suite pointing in the window, please? Yep, sure. I'll go back to that. So this is the test suites. So you can navigate from projects, choose your desired project, and you can choose the test suites from the left pane. You will be displayed with the list of test suites that are created in the project. You can click on edit to see the list of test cases that are being added to this particular test suite. Right. Next question. For test cycles, if run multiple times, is the execution history and results stored for later reference? Yes. Each test case execution is an individual unique instance of execution. So all of that data is captured uniquely for future reference. So no data will be lost on the execution data. Is any reporting foreseen? I want to see which requirements have been covered by test case and which are not, or which requirements. Yeah, as I just showed you, you can see from the traceability report, you can easily find um, you can easily find if there is a requirement that is not covered by any test case. You can see the second column appearing blank. For example, you can see on the last pieces of requirements in the page that we are seeing. So there are no test cases written for this requirement, indicating no coverage yet for these requirements. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Okay, how do I get this synapseRT NG version? So we are going to release this product publicly in market next Friday. So you will be able to download it from the marketplace and use our product. We will also be sending out a beta version for all of those attendees so that they can give it an early try before we go public on our product. Okay, if you already have our synapseRT product, yes, as I just mentioned in the beginning, um, for all JIRA 7 users, you can upgrade to our new version of our plugin using the upgrade path we have defined. We will share you the documentations on how you can upgrade and migrate data from our old plugin to the new plugin so that you can seamlessly move from old to new. For those users who are still on JIRA 6.x, we will continue to support the existing product, um, but to use our new product, you will have to upgrade to the newer JIRA version and use our new product. Yeah, how do we port existing data? Yes, as I just mentioned, we have an automated migration utility that we have specially written for our existing customers. They can migrate data at one click. It moves the data appropriately to the new plugin requirements. You can always very well try it out first in your staging. We will be providing you enough support on migrating this data for our existing customers to move on to the new product. We'll support you on that. Um, do we lose any data after upgrade? We have taken utmost care to not miss any data when we migrate from our world plugin to the new plugin. So most likely you won't be losing any data. But still, we recommend you to upgrade it in your testing environment. Make sure you have all your data, not lost anything before you perform it on your production. Is there any way of doing automatic test execution? Okay. Right now, there is not possible to do an automatic test execution because we haven't exposed any of these synapseRT NextGen APIs for automatic scripts to communicate to the product and execute things. But you will be able to see such facilities coming up in our future releases of the product. Will this allow importing of test cases from other tools like X-Ray or Zephyr? No, right now the product is not supporting that. Can I get the presentation so that I can use it for the users? Um, yep, we are going to send you the recorded webinar so you can use it to demonstrate it to your users. You can contact us. We can even do a one-to-one demonstration to your group of users who are willing to see our product. Along with the video, can we have also the documentations for this product? Yep, sure. We'll make sure to send across documentations as well when we send across the beta version of the product. Okay. Can you open the CSV file, traceability CSV? Yep. So I'm just going to click on export here. So the CSV is exported. I'm opening it. So this is what this is the exported CSV format. All right. Any more questions? Awesome. Thank you everyone for taking time and joining in to listen to this webinar. We look forward to working with you on our product. Please feel free to drop your questions to support@gotogroup.com or sales@gotogroup.com. Should you have any questions, we are happy to help you out on this product. We are even happy to set up a one-to-one demo with your group of users if you would like to move move to the next step on evaluating this product. We will be, as I said, we will be sending out the recorded webinar. We will be sending out the beta version of our product along with the documentations as some of you have requested. So have a good day. Have a great weekend ahead. Thank you all for joining in.